The other day on Facebook, I was flipping through and I saw there was this article the Today Show shared where James Dean is being resurrected using CGI footage and pictures and using the deepfake technology, and he's starring in a brand new film in 2020. And it's caused a lot of controversy. There's been a lot of people that are really upset by this. The idea of bringing somebody back from the dead to make a whole new movie instead of just using new actors. It's certainly an interesting thought and something that definitely needs to be discussed because there is a lot of tricky ethics surrounding this. And it's funny too, we have different reactions in different scenarios. There was, we'd resurrected Peter Cushing for Rogue One as Governor Tarkin using CGI. And I think as far as a CGI build goes, it was probably the best we were going to get at the time. It's still absolutely fascinating how they did it, and it looks great. But it's still part of that uncanny valley where you know your brain is telling you this isn't a real person, this is a computer I'm looking at. So it's that weird little thing in our brains that go off. There's also the controversy around Carrie Fisher being resurrected for Rise of Skywalker because they said flat out they weren't going to use a CGI model. They were going to have her performance, her footage used over from The Force Awakens. So we're going to get whatever side plot that was in Force Awakens into the main story of Episode 9. Now, I'm of the personal belief that they are not just using her footage. I know they said they weren't going to use a CGI character, and they're probably right. But there are ways around it. There is ways to trick the audience into thinking that they're watching a real live footage. There's cutaways. They can use body doubles. Lucasfilm has said that they have digital recreations of every older actor's face, mostly used for just the over-the-top CGI scenes, but they can still use that as a digital tracking reference for each actor, especially for Carrie Fisher. They can mat it on somebody else's body for brief takes. I mean, I still think we're going to get good chunks of clips that is just her. But there's definitely ways to trick the audience into thinking otherwise, especially with the latest trailer and how the last lines were uttered by Luke and Leia saying, "The Force will be with you," and she says, "Always." Suddenly, everybody's mind immediately thought Force Ghost. Which is funny because technically speaking, she hasn't died yet on screen. We haven't seen the character die. And yet suddenly, with the idea of the trailer dropping, it's almost like hinting to us, hey, maybe she's going to become a Force Ghost, which I'm 100% on board with. I think it would be a beautiful ending for the character. But that alone is also, I don't think they planned that from the very beginning. So I think what we're going to get is a lot of camera tricks to do that. But in regards to James Dean, there's a lot of fans out there who look to James Dean and look at the legacy he left behind in classic Hollywood. And to resurrect him and bring him back for a whole new movie is a very interesting scenario. Obviously, they got permission from the Dean family estate, and they allowed them to do it. But still, we're heading into a new direction of cinema where we could easily... there was a friend of mine that said we could easily get a new Dirty Harry film with a young Clint Eastwood. I'd like to know what people's thoughts are on this, because at the end of the day, for me, I'm both intrigued. I've never been really a fan of James Dean, but I would love to go see this just because it's a very interesting scenario and time we're living in where this technology has gotten so good we can bring people back from the dead to act in a whole new movie. It's I don't know. It's very, very tricky. But I hope you all have a great day, and let me know what you think. I'm fascinated to hear your thoughts.